All right, ladies, we are on Tuesday the 2nd. We are on upper body, and we've got two parts, and we've got a ladder. So part one is 2 to 14 to 2 ladder, clean and press, bicep curls, single arm chest press. And part two is high plank, which is 2 a timer. So I will briefly talk about the ladder, and then I will go over the exercises, then I will break down the ladder and break down the exercises. So what a ladder is it means that you are climbing up or climbing down, which in this instance, we're doing both. So we are going by 2s up to 14 and then back down to 2. So a ladder is always gonna be the increment, or I should say the increment is always gonna be what the ladder starts with. So if it was 1 to 14, I know I'm going up by 1. Because it says 2 to 14, I know I'm going up by 2. So it'll be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 12, 10, back down to 2, okay? That's how the ladder goes. If you are doing it and you're like, there's no way I can make it there, you could do 2 to 10, back to 2, or whatever. It doesn't have to be exactly 14. Or if you're feeling really great and extra, you could even do 2 to 18, 18 to 2, whatever. But you don't need to repeat 14. So you're only doing 14 once, every other number you're doing twice. Once on the way up, once on the way down. Clean and press. Clean and press. Bicep curls. Single arm chest press. And then part 2, we have high plank. Okay, so to break down the ladder further, I already mentioned 2 to 14, back down to 2. So how it works is we have 3 exercises underneath the underline, right? So you're going to do each of those 2 times. Then you're going to do each of them 4 times. Then you're going to do each of them 6 times. You're going to do that until you get to 14. Then you're going to go back down the ladder. So then you're going to do each one 12 times, then each one 10 times, then each one 8 times, okay? So the clean and press, bicep curls, and single arm chest press do not have reps in front of them because the reps is your ladder, okay? So everything that list gets done 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. And again, if you can't make it that high, because the thing is, you might be able to get there, and then you might be like, oh crap, I can't get back down the ladder. So if you already know and you're a beginner, this is all really new to you, you haven't worked out at all, you might want to try 2 to 10, down back to 2, okay? Because you can calculate, like if you go on your calculator and you do, 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus whatever, and then again, you'll see how many total reps it is. So unfortunately, I didn't do that for you already, but if it's gonna be like, over 100 reps and you know you won't be able to handle that, then knock your top number down. So, clean and press. This is what it looks like. Okay, so your clean and press is combining 2 different exercises because a clean alone is an exercise and a shoulder press alone is an exercise. So you combine them together. Now, the shoulder press is the easy part. Most people understand how to just press something overhead. My only tips there is when you press overhead, you want your shoulders or your biceps, whatever, to be close to your ears. You don't want to do this where you're way back here because then you're going to arch your back, and you don't want to be too far in front of your head either. Your head should be between your arms, okay? That's your press part. That is the easy part. The clean is the part that people have trouble with. So the clean is this, okay? Most people do this. So this is a circle and this is a hammer bicep curl. Most people do that instead of doing a clean, which is a shrug and a flip. So they're very different. So most people do this. This is what you're supposed to do. They don't look the same at all, but people don't understand how to get the weight from here to their shoulders without doing the circle, okay? So that is what I'm going to show you. So, and if you did do that, it's not the end of the world. It's just not a clean and press. It's a bicep curl to a press, okay? So, for your clean, you are going to shrug a little bit, with this, which is with your shoulder, and then as you go up, you're going to start to flip the weight, okay? So a very slow clean should look like this. So notice I'm not going out here at all. I'm going up the side of my body, and when I can no longer shrug, I flip, okay? So I come up, flip. So it's kind of hard to describe it with a, well, I guess it's hard either way, because I used to work at a gym where we had a barbell, and it was hard to describe it with the barbell, but I feel like it was easier because both hands were on the same thing. And it was easier to, I feel like, talk about like the wrist part of the flip, whereas the dumbbells, you've got one in each hand and they're not necessarily working together. But that's how I think about it. I think of it as a shrug and I think of it as a flip, okay? So shrug, flip, press. Shrug, flip, press, okay? So you can definitely practice that. And even if it's ugly or if you have to do it really slow, it's better to do it that way and practice the correct form than to just continue doing the circle because you don't get it. Because then you're never actually doing the clean, which defeats the purpose. So that's your clean and press. Now we have our bicep curl. So we are not doing a hammer curl, we're doing a regular bicep curl. So I like to start on my side. Some people like to start in front with their palms out. So this is how I bicep curl. I start on the side, I come up and I rotate my weights so my palms are facing toward me as I come up. As I go down, I rotate back down and land on my side. So I go side, rotate, palms facing me, down, rotate, palms to the side, okay? That's how I bicep curl. So my bicep curl looks like this. Now, what I was saying was, some people either don't understand the turning or they just don't like it. They start outward and they just curl up and down, up and down, okay? Up and down. Now, with your bicep curl, you want to make sure that you're not just going like this or really fast or that your back is moving in any way. It should be very controlled and you want to have some sort of tempo. So what that means is, and you don't have to count or physically count out loud or whatever, but if it's new to you, you might want to. So what that means is, by being controlled, there should be some sort of rhythm in your head. So when I go up, I might say 1, 2. My release is going to be slower. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, okay? So that's not only gonna keep me controlled, but it's gonna make sure that I'm getting my full extension and range of motion and that I'm doing it the same every time, okay? So if you are finding yourself heaving up, drop down your weight, okay? Or take a break, wait until you're a little bit rested and then start again, all right? And of course with like a ladder, if you get to 12 or 14 and you can't do them all in a row anymore, that's totally fine. You just have to get to that number. So if you're at 12 and you have to do 6 and then 6, that's fine. But you're gonna stay with that exercise. You're not gonna do 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 of the 3 different ones. You're gonna say you're on bicep curls. You'll do 6, take a rest, finish your 6, then move on to the next 12 and then on to the next 12, okay? So lastly, we have single arm chest press. So you're gonna get on the floor. This is a bench press. Most people don't have a bench, but this is what you see at the gym when all the guys are like obsessed with benching and they're doing this with the bar and they're trying to lift the most amount of weight. That's what this is, it's a chest press, but we use the floor because most people don't have a bench. So you're gonna take one weight because we're doing single arm and you're gonna almost just make like a goalpost, okay, but with one arm. So my elbow's on the floor and my hand is up and I'm holding the weight. It doesn't really matter. You could hold it straight or sideways, but for the purpose, I'm holding it the long way. So I'm going to just press up and over my chest and back down. 1. Up and over my chest, back down 2. So my arm is moving closer. So it starts wide, and as I press up, I come over my chest, so my arm actually comes basically straight up, okay? So I don't press and stay out to the side. I press and I travel to the center as I press up. Then I go back out as I go down. Up, travel to the center, travel back out on your way down, okay? And then you're gonna switch arms for the other side. So it will be 2 clean and press, 2 bicep curl, 2 press on one arm, 2 press on the other arm. 4 clean and press, 4 bicep curl, 4 presses on one arm, 4 presses on the other arm. When you are done with your ladder, you're gonna move on to high plank. So that is to a timer. I'm gonna show you the high plank first, and then we'll talk about the timer. So your high plank is just like this. So your arms should be under your body, like your shoulder, your elbow, and your wrist. You shouldn't be way out here or like underneath. It should be pretty lined up. Your butt should not be piked. It shouldn't be sunken. It should be nice in the middle, and you're up on your toes, okay? So the point anytime you're in high plank position is you want your spine to be even. So from your neck to your heels, or I mean, I guess you could say your butt, but even to your heels, should all be in like a smooth line. So even if you're not in a straight line and it's more like this, it's still a straight line, okay? So you don't want, like I said, with your butt, you don't want your butt piked up. That's gonna make a bump in the line, or you don't want it sunken down. It's gonna make a dip in the line. So it should be as straight as it can be, okay? So also what goes along with that, which I sometimes don't do, is you don't want your head to be hung down, or don't be like purposely looking up. You should have your neck relaxed. So I usually focus on something kind of like diagonal in front, and that usually keeps my neck from wrenching up or from looking too far down. You kind of want to try to keep that neutral also. So high plank is very easy. If you're having issues with your high plank, you could drop down and just go to your knees. So for the timer part, I have a timers video in my resources videos. I have a page on the end of your workout schedule that is a timers page. So you're just gonna go to your Tabata timer and you're gonna pick, do you want to do 25 seconds, 27 seconds, 30 seconds, however many seconds you want. Between 25 and 30, you enter that in. Then you're gonna enter in your 30-second rest, and then rounds per Tabata is gonna equal 5. And you're just gonna follow the prompts with your high plank. So if you've downloaded the Flex Next or Next Flex timer, whatever it is, it'll tell you to go and it'll tell you to rest. So you'll know, what you're on. All right, so that is Tuesday the 2nd.